Yo.
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 Jonathan Huberto.
Hey boys, welcome back to Puck and Stuff Podcast with my boy T-Dog over here. This is another Flames talk and we're not happy, but before we get started, this episode is sponsored by a man can dream for a better team than this. Alright, so I'm going to start ranting. So, last time we were on this episode of Flames Talk, Flames were doing great. We were 5-2. It looked like the team had decent chemistry, and everything was working out. Markstrom was doing well. We didn't see Vladar that much, but then we saw Vladar, and he shies of the bed. And this whole team decided to shies of the bed when they did decide to play Sutter's system. We start off with Edmonton. You lose to Edmonton. Fair enough. It's Edmonton, Battle of Alberta. We'll get them next time, right? And then we move and we verse Seattle. You lose 5-4. Then you move to Nashville. You lose 4-1. Then you move to New Jersey and you lose an OT and you didn't even deserve the point. What the hell, guys? What happened? What truly happened in the time that we took the video, posted it, and then a few days later? 5 days. It took me 5 days and then this happens. We're on a 4-game losing streak.
Man, as you can tell, we were really blessed last season. That's why this is upsetting.
I also realize this. You only get the freaking Iggy can't tell you
I was gonna say, I hope you don't crush that. It's Iggy, man. Okay, let me go into my rant here too. Okay, so I went to that BOA game. We lost. We haven't looked the same since, the Connor McDavid goal. Really, we should have won that game, and I also think we should have won that Seattle game too. I think we did play better, but. Like B-Dog said there, Sutter Hockey, they're not playing the full system. We're really struggling on zone entries and the transition game in the neutral zone, and that is absolutely killing us. That New Jersey game, 3 of those goals that New Jersey scored was from the same slot, an open man in front of the net, just a pass right there, touch it, tap it in, elevate the puck, boom. None of these games, in my opinion, are Markstrom's or Dan Vladar's fault, all right? I think our goalies are playing fine. Markey's playing up to his system, but you can't have a team of success when the goalie's good and the players aren't playing, or vice versa. And that's the problem we're having right now. The offense needs to be better. Simple as that. Kadri's playing great. He's our superstar right now. We love him. We all love him. At this point, maybe I'll just get a Kadri jersey instead.
It is very tempting.
Seriously, it is. It is pretty tempting. 11 points in 10 games. He's awesome. I don't even think his line mates are even playing to the best of their abilities. I still like Backlund's game. In my opinion, I don't think he should have been benched. I think Lucic and Rooney deserved it a little more than Backlund. I thought he played with some emotion. And, of course, the underlying fact that everyone's talking about, Huberto needs to be better. Simple as that. That first line needs to be better. And I think a lot of it, though, is due to the reason. Not trying to make excuses, but I think that with the new system, I think he's trying too hard. I think he's trying to make plays happen, like I think what Sutter was saying, but he needs to simplify his game. And I think it can happen, and I hope it happens soon, because here's the thing. We look at the new schedule, or the schedule that's coming up tomorrow as we record this on the Sunday. Monday they play the Islanders, and they play New Jersey again the next day, and then they get a break, and then they play Boston, who's 10-2. Those are some good teams right now. If you play Sorokin against the Islanders, you're going to have to make sure to bring some offensive ability, because you're probably going to play a 1-goal game no matter what. You're going to win probably if it's a 1-goal game. Again, you're going to have to do that and keep strong defensively.
Honestly, I kind of see I totally see where you're coming from here. Those long stretch home games are kind of like a positive and a negative for us, because they always say you play better at home, but with the Flames, they start off pretty good when they have a long stretch at home. They play pretty good at the beginning, and then you kind of see them slack off a little bit. So maybe this road trip for them will actually give them some positives here, because you do versus the Islanders. The Islanders they're looking like a decently strong team, especially with Sorokin playing on his head recently and keeping this team 7-5 in the standings right now. But it is the Islanders. I do believe this Flames team does have the capability to bounce back, especially when you're on a road trip. And to be honest, it truly has to start with New York, the first team you play, because, hey, you're not at home, totally different arena, totally different day, different game, and I could see us bounce back from this, but it truly starts with the Islanders, because you don't want to go back to versing New Jersey, and you're like, oh, we're on a 5-game losing streak. I wanted to wait one more game to see if they did lose or not, and then I could be even more mad in this video, but you just convinced me to do 4.
Steve Dangle it, eh? Well, I think we do. I mean, there's a lot to talk about now with the Flames because of this. It's very different from the week prior. For sure, starts in New York. I think you get a win, things will definitely lighten up. I think confidence will come back, and I think the structure will kind of place itself into normalcy again. The other thing as well with the team. So another thing too with this team that I think we need to talk about too is that there's some injuries, right? Chris Tanev, now Michael Stone, who only played one shift.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bit of a struggle. I think we're missing Shillington too, and someone made a good point as well. I saw on the Reddit page, I was reading that while I was watching the game. They were saying like this team seems to do really well when the defense does go into the play, right? Play up with it.
Mm-hmm.
Shillington's a lot like that. Very, very speedy, wants to jump in on that play. I think that's why he succeeds and thrives so well with this team. So I think that's something we got to do too. But as well, too, you can't leave the defense hanging because there's a lot of those problems, like I was saying, with a lot of the same goals, leaving men in front. Players not well, just covering their man for, say, doing their assignments.
Oh my God,
that
it was brutal.
A big problem.
In some of those games, it was absolute brutal to me, especially I think it was in the Seattle and the New Jersey game where our defense were covering players in their own defensive zone and left them open for open chances. And they were goals. That was the worst part.
When you have three people covering one guy, but he has an area enough to just sneak it between the legs of someone, then he has an open net in the slot. Of course it's going to score, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just how it's going to be. And ultimately, too, like, with this team, I did say that they would struggle at the start, and then they found their way. So, maybe I'm right. I hope I am. I think that concerns me because they're also struggling. And if you're the team that they are going to break their losing streak, too, that's not the problem. The problem is that you made Nashville look like they were on a winning streak. That's the problem, even though they were just coming off a losing streak. Yeah.
Honestly, this team does know it can play better. And I think one of the big issues you mentioned before, I guess, the recording was they're not playing the Sutter system. They're not playing the Sutter system they're used to.
No, not at all.
And you could make the case that, like, there's still that new face of a team with Kadri, Huberdeau, and Weegar that, like, you know what? It's maybe still a chemistry thing. Maybe they're still not all connected as well as you hope. And you know what? That makes sense. But from the start that they made 5-2 against those teams, and then you're dropping off 4 games after we discuss it, it's kind of brutal to see. And Markstrom's not doing too bad. He is 4-2. He has a goals against average of 2.84, and he has a save percentage of 900. And it's not bad. I'm not trying to blame him. The McDavid goal was kind of like, oh, come on, man. You should have had that. He probably shouldn't have left his net to play it, but he missed it, and it kind of went to that. Vladar is 1-2. He has a goals against average of 3.81, and he has a save percentage of 8.65, and that's not pretty either. But again, I'm not trying to judge. He's our backup, and he's only played 3 games. Like, he could turn it around so quickly, but It's a little bit of a struggle for the Flames right now, and I would love to see them turn around very quickly because I don't know if my mind can mentally handle that right now. Especially with the crappy weather outside.
It just adds on a little more stress in your daily life, which sucks. I mean, but again, we know that this team can play better, and they know too. So I think, again, like, it just starts with a period, then the next, and then the next, and then if you win the game, there you go. Please win the next game.
Please win against the Islanders. I'm going to predict that you guys win 5-3. I'm going to predict 5-3 because, honestly, Kadri goes off, Huberdeau gets it back, Weegar goes off.
I hope.
Markstrom gets an empty netter.
Oh, man. I can't help but think when Huberdeau gets going, it's just going to be a lot.
Oh, it's going to be so great to see.
A lot better. How long, right? Like, it could take a long time, so a man can dream that he gets back to normalcy.
A man can dream. And hey, guys, I don't think we have much more to say, and I think we're going to end off this Flames talk pretty short today. But hey, hopefully this team turns it around. If you guys did enjoy this episode, please drop it in the comments. What do you think of the Flames? Do you think they're going to do something or change it up? Let's see on this road trip for sure. And, if you want to catch it away.
Well, like B-Dog said, thank you guys very much for watching, and leave a comment too. What do you guys, same thing, what do you guys think about the team, how they're playing right now? Do you think that they're going to snap it, or the losing streak's going to keep going and a deep depression will hit all of us? Well, guys, hopefully you guys got your snow shovels out there, because it's getting pretty bad out there.
For sure.
So keep on shoveling and stuff, and hey, get the winter tires on, and hey, boys, we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.